Hey, Dr. Subtle. Nice to have an opportunity to do what you do. Sorry, my setting isn't as nice as yours, but we're going to try and make this just as educational as I can. So in this video, I'm going to be focusing on the cult of Mao and the propaganda used to perpetuate the cult, as well as how the party used the cult of Mao and this propaganda to separate families and flip the familial piety on its head that for generations kind of ran China. So in the beginning of the book, it starts very early on with Liang Heng's mother. It talks about how, Liang Heng talks about how she was asked specifically by the party and by her supervisors to provide some answers or some suggestions in effect on how to improve the workplace. That's not exactly what she was asked, but in effect that was the end goal of their question. The true end goal, though, we find out was to root out people that didn't completely agree with the party and what the party was doing, or at least just kind of create some sort of scapegoat or some sort of target that the other citizens that the party deemed either not as dangerous or in line with party thought to focus their attention on, and to have a common enemy within the state that needed to be rooted out, so that they felt like so the citizens actually felt like they were doing something, they were occupied. Especially like you can see in this time, it's like mentioned offhand that people need rice coupons and stuff like that, and that the children were eating grass and stuff, and that their stomachs were swelling up because people were so undernourished. And when people are undernourished, you need a target. If you don't have the target, the government becomes a target. So I really believe that's why they started doing this, because his mother was nothing but a dedicated member of the party. She and his father spent their whole life to no avail trying to appease the party and become part of it and be accepted by it. So that happened, and it didn't work because the party was just using them as they did with so many other people. Then the propaganda kind of picked up more. The cult of Mao was already established at this point. It's been established for several years by the time, several decades actually, by the time Liang Heng is born and writes this book. But during the Cultural Revolution, they start to pick up that propaganda, pick it up, putting these giant posters on the wall, like declaring people enemies of the state or outing them for capitalist thought. Things that they could have said or done before the Cultural Revolution, not even before the Cultural Revolution, before like the revolution that put Mao in power. People like Liang Heng's father, who started a newspaper for the party to help put out propaganda for the party through poems and articles, was targeted for not quoting Mao enough, for having capitalist thought, and for working for a KMH newspaper before the KMH was overthrown. But at that point, he would have had no other newspaper to work for, because the KMH was the head government at that time. So what was he supposed to do? Just like, I'm just going to twiddle my thumbs and not do anything. This man started a newspaper for the party, and the party came after him and put this giant poster up. And whenever one person in your family like this is like, we'll call it, they say red and black, so we'll call it like black-carded like this, blackballed even, if you want to go with like fraternity route. Your whole family gets blackballed pretty much from society. The things that happened with his mother, even though his father divorced her and they separated from her, like almost no contact with her at all, very little, and in the later years, no contact with her at all. They were still outcast from society. They were prevented from joining the Communist Youth League, the Young Revolutionaries, until later in the book where Liang Feng kind of finds a loophole and works her way in to it. It was crazy. It's crazy. Liang Feng becomes so dedicated to the party that she becomes a red guard. These people that go and search people's houses for capitalist thought. It's crazy how deep he got into their mind and how he managed to destroy families by making the party so integral to society. it's very Orwellian. It is extremely Orwellian, and it is shocking to see. I can see that I'm about to go over the time, but I think since I had that little intro, maybe I get some leeway, especially with this little talking I'm doing right here. So let's see. People were so dedicated to the cult of Mao that Ping Ming, Liang Feng's neighbor, went to college to compose music for Mao and for revolutions, to write songs just about them. And with that, I'm going to go. But Mao and the party used the cult that they had created by basically making propaganda and only like advertising Mao, 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 party, party, party. A capitalist thought is evil. To influence people so much that the party became more important than their family. Because without, like, in normal society, your family can help you function in society. But in this society, your family is kept from helping you function because they will be blackballed or something like that, and it ruins your life. And with that, I'm going to go. Thank you for this opportunity.